Leadership is really rewarding. However, it comes with its fair share of challenges. We are now diving into the 4 most annoying challenges of being a leader. First up on our list, the never-ending responsibilities. As a leader, it sometimes feels like your to-do list is on a perpetual loop that never ends. There's always someone to manage, someone to guide, and decisions to make. It can be downright exhausting. This can be a real challenge. I often find myself thinking, I'll just get through this one thing and then I'll go home. Next thing, it's ages later, I haven't finished the one thing because there's some rabbit hole that I've managed to dive down because it's not as straightforward as just doing a task and ticking it off. Hey, this is why we do leadership, right? This never-ending task list and rabbit hole of things that seem to crop up out of nowhere are all part of the fun. Well, actually, it can be quite frustrating. If you're the kind of person who likes to get everything ticked off and your desk cleared at the end of the day and everything done ready for the next day, you could find leadership quite a challenge. This is not my reality. The list is never ending and overwhelming, and isn't it awesome? The second annoyance is the constant juggling act. Balancing multiple priorities, projects and team members is a massive juggling act. It is a real challenge to give each aspect the attention that it actually deserves without feeling like you're spread too thin and you're not really giving things what they need. I try to start each day going through the list that I've set for myself from the night before. So the night before I work out, these are the things I have to get done straight away. So in the morning, I'm usually reprioritising that list depending on what's come through. Some of the teams start their day at 7 a.m, which means with my own start being after school drop-off. Some people are already thinking about morning tea when I get there. I will often be noting and reprioritising my calendar at the school gate on my phone as the messages are piling up. And I'm trying to juggle what could be done on a phone call on my way into work and what I have to do as soon as I get there. This can get quite stressful if you're trying to juggle your real life with your work life. And I have a whole video on that kind of pressure that I will link to here too. So if you're considering going into leadership, you need to be mindful of that juggling act that comes from managing people. I've also found in leadership roles that the traffic and the noise comes from 365 directions too. If you're used to a role where you just have one person that you report to and they give you your work, then this is a whole different ballgame. You'll not only get queries and questions from your team, from your direct reports and from your own manager, but there's often a whole vast range of other people that'll also have questions and queries for you too. I've been in leadership for over 17 years and have gone from leading just 2 people, which was quite straightforward, to leading large teams on multiple locations and leading leaders. And I continue to find that each day brings some new and surprising challenges for me. Now let's talk about conflict. The third most annoying thing that I find about leadership is managing conflict. Whether it's resolving disputes amongst team members or trying to manage expectations of people that are higher up than you, conflict resolution can be a major headache. While I find my job pretty satisfying and am pretty engaged in what I'm doing each day, this is not necessarily the experience of a lot of people. Would you believe that some people really only come to work for the paycheck? Shocking. This does mean that as a leader, it is my job to ensure that my team are feeling as engaged as it is within my realm of responsibility to provide. And also being really mindful of the fact that no one, including me, can completely check in their emotions and baggage at the door of work each day. So it does create some friction if people are bringing in experiences that are perhaps wearing them down from their own life into work, and it can mean that they react in a lot of different ways that could be unexpected because of the pressure that they may be feeling from elsewhere in their lives. Because you'll know yourself, if you're feeling life pressure and then you go to do something at work and it doesn't work out the way you want, or somebody reacts to you in a way that kind of triggers you a bit, your reaction can be more oversized than normal if you're feeling considerable stress in other areas. This means that there are complexities that layer over any dealings with conflict that you may have in a leadership role, before you even start unearthing what the issues are. This means that you can't just wade in feet first and try and deal with the problem at face value. Being a leader requires diplomacy, sensitivity, listening skills, and negotiation, which takes up a lot of time and can feel a little bit annoying on top of the 100 other things that you have to get done that day. However, this is the job, and it is something that you have to care about to ensure that your team are engaged and you're building a nice culture amongst everybody. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, can you please hit the like button and subscribe, because then I know what kind of content you like listening to and I'll make more of it. Now, the fourth thing that is the most annoying about being a leader for me is taking the heat. Leaders often find themselves in the hot seat, especially when things go wrong. Leaders will bear the brunt of the blame, which can be frustrating and, let's face it, annoying. This is definitely something I've learned on my journey of leadership. When your team make a mistake or fail, actually fundamentally, it's you too. You're failing too. If the results of your team are less than what your organisation expects them to be, this is on you. I have had a leader who, when things didn't go as planned, they would hold these meetings with everybody and run through all the things that we did wrong and the reasons why we failed. And it would definitely feel like a blame game. You'd sit there in your seat, kind of cringing on the inside, thinking, oh, was that because I did that? Oh, does that sit with me? Are they talking to me? Do they actually mean me? And I believe it was actually about how we were connecting together as a team and performing, i.e. we weren't connected that well. But it was actually not to do with our individual performance at all. We weren't working well as a team to get the best result. And as a leader, you've got to look to yourself in those situations and take that on board as an opportunity to work on how you can improve with the team. But let's be real, it's a lot of pressure and it is annoying, particularly if you have your own leader further up the chain who is telling you what you've done wrong and that they're disappointed, and you already know that they're disappointed and you're disappointed, and perhaps have already been trying to deal with it yourself and have a plan to how you're going to improve it. But getting that feedback can grind your gears a bit. But hey, leadership is a journey and it's about growth and development, and despite all these annoyances, it is incredibly rewarding. If you've faced any of these annoyances, or perhaps have some of your own, please share them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching.